Jay, when did the president learn specifically that the military death benefits would not be paid?
Again, Ed, for the third time.
Well, I didn't hear that question.
Yeah, and well, it was asked. I can tell you that
So why are
when
you
he
not
did
answering?
learn,
Today,
he asked.
yesterday?
Ed, I don't know specifically. I can tell you that when he learned that these benefits were not explicitly dealt with in the Pay Our Military Act, he was very disturbed, and he asked for the OMB and his lawyers to take action.
So why didn't he have that action taken before today, though?
You have to work out a
news reports
process,
about it
unless you're willing to write the check, Ed. I mean, you know, that it takes some time. It takes some time to. And are you suggesting we don't, Ed?
I'm saying there are people who care about it, who want to get it done quickly.
And it's getting done.
The president saying he's doing it today. Why won't you tell us what day he learned? Was it yesterday, the day before?
Ed, what I can tell you is when the president, and when the president found out, he was disturbed, and he asked his lawyers and the OMB to get to work on a solution, and we expect a solution today. What Congress did not do, when it was informed by the Department of Defense that the DOD would be legally unable to pay these death benefits, was take action, A, to keep the government open. That did not seem to disturb the Republicans who thought it was the right thing to do to shut the government down, just as it did not seem to be particularly disturbing to Republicans when they would cause all the other consequences of shutdown. They chose instead to shut the government down. Unfortunately, this was not addressed in the Pay Our Military Act, which was a bill that was supported broadly with bipartisan support, as well as from the president, and signed into law. And you know, I mean, this is not that complicated. I know you're trying to make a partisan issue out of it, but
nice try.
But Ed,
you won't tell us a simple fact of when the president learned. You're trying to say
he's
outraged by it, so he wants to move quickly. If he learned last Tuesday,
I'm saying that when he learned about
or the
it,
day before.
he asked for, directed those who work for him to find a solution, and we expect a solution today.
Okay. And
what I haven't seen is a solution from Congress, but the president will have one today.
So you've repeatedly said today in previous days that you don't want to do all this in a piecemeal fashion. Republicans should pass a clean CR. We understand you've said that again and again. But you have had to deal with piecemeal, for example, in this issue. The president wants a solution on this. Yesterday, there was an immigration reform rally in Washington. The National Park Service had to staff it. They say they do that because it was on First Amendment grounds. But how can you justify letting a rally like that go forward that could happen yesterday, could happen next week, before something like military death benefits are taken care of? Like, why is a rally so?
I'll answer it now, and I look forward to the piece that you'll do on it. When the president learned that this issue had not been explicitly taken care of in the Pay Our Military Act, he was disturbed, and he asked those who work for him to find a solution. And they are busy at that work now, and we expect a solution today. The broader question you ask goes right to the heart of the fact that there are myriad consequences to shutdown. And you know, you can't run around trying to fix all of them. That's not the way the United States of America should operate. You should simply open the government. The president has never asked for anything in return for Congress fulfilling its responsibility to open the government. He didn't ask for funding levels that are reflected in the budget he submitted. Neither did the Democrats. The Senate passed the budget at as the Republicans demanded, and you will note that the CR that the Senate passed and Democrats support, and the House could pass if the Speaker would allow it to come to the floor, and Democrats would support it, does not represent funding levels that Democrats have requested. In fact, they fall far short of what Democrats have requested. But the Democrats believe that because permits need to be issued, because death benefits need to be paid, because Head Start programs need to be open, because hundreds of thousands of Americans need to get back to work, that we ought to open the government. It's as simple as that. Just vote and open the government.